Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On Podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another exciting podcast interview. On today's show, I am so excited to talk about the future opportunities in 2024 with Jonathan Lucenay. He's the CEO of Client Command. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brian. Always love being with you and your audience.
Well, I'm excited for 2024 because we're seeing momentum build in the dealer community to wanting to do more with their first-party data. They're starting to understand the power of one-to-one marketing if they have visible data on each consumer, like their email address or their physical address. And so one of the themes that I see for 2024, it will be the year of the audience. It will be the year of greater adoption of CDPs and data management platforms. And it will be the year of more sophisticated marketing. So let's start right from the top. You have a patent on your data framework of tracking consumer behavior, specifically online shopping, called the Active Shopper Network. How big of a reach does your platform have to generate audiences that dealer can use for better marketing and communication?
So, Brian, we get data from over 60 billion URLs every day. That data is attached to over 224 million adults in the United States. And we narrow it down to exactly who's shopping for a car. We know the second they start shopping, and we know what their consideration set is. And we use that data, or our dealers and OEM partners, ad agencies, vendor partners use that data to target messaging to the consumer that the consumer actually wants to receive. So if you're fishing where the fish are, you're going to catch a lot more fish.
I love that. I love that analogy because it's true. When you think of just throwing a radius around your dealership and doing some spray and pray marketing, which dealers do and still do today, the effectiveness is muted, and we spend a lot of money. When we know exactly who is in market, well, we can be more precise with today's technology. And that's why I think 2024 will be the year of the audience. Let's dive in a little deeper, though. There are people, Google, Facebook, and others that say, hey, we have in-market shopper audiences. So can you define a little bit more? If I'm a consumer and I go to cars.com, spend 1 minute on cars.com, am I considered an active shopper, or do I have to do a series of tasks to actually trigger that flag in your platform to say, hey, this is an active shopper, not a tire kicker?
You get points in our scoring system for everything that you do. Your intensity level, if you just went on for 2 minutes, is probably still 0. Brian, you have to show up a number of times and start actually showing buying behavior to be considered shopping. Even if that buying behavior is in the awareness stage where you're comparing things, you're not going to bounce. You're actually looking at something, moving towards purchasing.
So you're not looking to sell inflated audiences. You're looking to give smaller, high-quality audiences, because when I've looked at the Active Shopper Network, you have those live, in-market, real-time graphs that show each person in the market, what brands they're in your consideration set. It's a lot smaller than some other audiences that dealers can buy. And at first I was like, wow, that's a big difference. Yet when I see the performance on how your audience is perform compared to, say, a general in-market shopper audience, there's no comparison. What's the strategy that you have in mind? Are you trying to find mid and low or low funnel? Where do you think the active shopper targets data that dealers can leverage to do better closure of all opportunities in their market?
It's a great question, Brian. Let's talk about what an in-market shopper is versus an active shopper. An in-market list typically uses predictive analytics, some hand raisers, and in cases you mentioned Facebook, I'll go ahead and add Google, Oracle, these audiences. They're making their money by selling more ads and more people, or consumers or eyeballs, if you will, to a dealer or an OEM, an agency. So those audiences are inflated. They are not 100% people that are shopping. You might have 20%. And in a really good audience, you might have 20% of an in-market audience is actually shopping for a car. Where in the active shopper network, if you buy active shoppers, 100% of those people have had behavior that says I'm shopping for a car, and then their intensity score as it goes up, they're moving down the funnel. So if I have a higher intensity score, I am closer to purchase than if I have a lower intensity score, which might say I'm in the awareness stage. When dealers look at it through that lens, the question I encourage them to ask is, what percentage of their ad spend do they want to focus on people that are shopping right now? Any answer can be an acceptable answer, right? Like somebody new in the market, new point, might want 80% of their advertising to be brand awareness. A dealer that says, no, my brand is established, may want only 10 or 20% of their advertising to be brand awareness, and the rest of their advertising to be focused on people that are shopping right now. And the power of the audience in this market right now, it's getting tight. It's getting difficult. There are fewer shoppers today than there were 6 months ago and fewer than there were 12 months ago. Dealers got to move that inventory because interest rates are causing floor plan expense to go up. The best way to do that is to make sure that every dollar they spend in advertising, doesn't matter who they spend it with. I don't care what vendor, and I know you're passionate, and so am I, about an open ecosystem. Let's just make sure that that advertising dollar powers a message talking to somebody that's actually looking for a car right now.
You know, Jonathan, you hit the nail on the head. Dealers need new tools and insights to move inventory. There are less shoppers out there because the affordability of cars is preventing people from going in the market or trading, or they're in a car that they normally would cycle out every 3 to 4 years, but they've considered now how much more they would pay for a similar vehicle and are sitting on the sidelines. So I want to talk about something you just mentioned, this open ecosystem. I'm going to make a statement that is pretty bold. I think in 2024, some of the most successful dealers in the US will be powered by the Active Shopper Network. And I want to talk a little bit more about that context of that statement. So you can deliver audiences to a dealer's agency. You can do marketing for a dealer through your marketing platform. But one of the breakthroughs is also using this audience data to personalize the online experience. At NADA, you're going to be demonstrating unique partnership with a shared client, the Keating Auto Group, and Dealer eProcess, where the active shopping scores are actually fueling different offers on the website. Someone who has a very high active shopper score might be offered a higher incentive to come in. as compared to someone with a lower score. So I want you to talk a little bit about this kind of breakthrough. Hey, audiences are good for marketing, sure, but audiences can also be used for personalized communication. And this is the first time I've seen this deep integration, your commitment to openness, that the Active Shopper Network can power any online tool, a digital retailing tool, a website, a chat. Any of that information can be used to personalize and direct the agent handling that opportunity with a personalized offer. Are you excited about this breakthrough of using your audiences in new ways outside of just marketing?
It's game changing for our customer experience, Brian. So yes, super, super excited. If you think about it as a consumer, if you go shopping for a flight to Puerto Rico, Cabo San Lucas, pick a place you might want to go, you show up at Delta or United, you're actually going to get information about those flights, right? And it's not just retargeting. There's a conquest element to that. There's data coming in from outside Delta or United's website that's informing them on what offer to make. Why have we not been doing this in automotive? Now, a consumer that's out shopping, if automatically DEP knows their consideration set, DEP knows how intense the shopper is, and the dealer's decided, hey, I want to make a more aggressive offer to someone that's shopping for a competitive vehicle or has a higher score. Of course, the conversion rates are going to be higher, but just as exciting to me is the consumers will be happier and more eager to engage because they're getting exactly what they showed up for.
Right. And think about this. There's been lots of coverage about this. I'm not picking on any brand, but I do know a number of Stellantis dealers are sitting on more inventory than, say, a Toyota dealer. And they're sitting, let's just say, with Ram trucks. And that floor plan cost maybe costing them $40, $50, $60 a day, depending on how expensive that truck is. And with this new partnership, you're going to be able to inform the DEP website, hey, this person who just showed up on your website, hey, they have a high shopper intensity score. Maybe it's because they were on cars.com, they were on Auto Trader, they've been on 2 or 3 competing Stellantis dealers' website. And if I'm the dealer and I'm sitting on $50 a day of floor plan cost, and I'm 40 deep in Ram trucks, I'm going to say, hey, what if I gave that person an extra grand or a $2,000 Amex card? I got stuff that is 100 days plus old in inventory. Whatever the offer is, I think that's exactly what dealers need to hear, that audiences can be used for marketing, but why not flip the script? And when an anonymous shopper comes to their website and you pass the active shopper score to the website provider and a relevant offer based on intensity, I mean, to me, this is part of the reason why I believe in 2024, some of the most successful dealers, the most profitable dealers will be powered by the active shopper network. Jonathan, not just websites, you are also providing your audiences on demand to dealer groups that have CDPs. Let's talk about that, because a dealer may only have level 1 identity resolution, meaning they know people come to the website, and then when they fill out a form, those anonymous pixels are matched to PII, and now the person is resolved. But if the person doesn't fill out a form, they may not know who the person is, and they surely don't know about the people who are shopping in their market, not on their website. And Client Command's audiences are level 3, right? So you know people who are on the dealer's website, whether they fill out a form or not, and out shopping on marketplace websites or competing dealers. How do you envision 2024 partnering with dealers with CDPs or with CDP platforms to feed the active shopper network data streams into their platforms to power better marketing?
So full disclosure, we have a CDP. Some of the leading dealer groups in the country use us, but we also power audiences that other dealer groups with other CDPs use. Open ecosystem. At the end of the day, the dealer group, OEM needs partners, and they should have the right to select those. The way the CDP is going to be used, those are typically first-party data networks, so that you're bringing in your website data, your CRM data, your DMS data into a framework that's 100% compliant and allows you to use it and leverage it and enhance it in different ways in order to drive more efficiency in marketing, more effectiveness in customer communication, and higher gross profit per transaction. And the way the Active Shopper Network plays in that is, first off, you know what they're shopping for and when they're shopping, even if they're not on your properties or calling your dealerships saying, hey, I'm interested in X, Y, and Z. In fact, you know before, so you can make better decisions. You can include them in audiences. You can have a personalized experience on your website. Your people are prepared. The next thing that dealers are going to do is they're going to say, well, tell me who else is shopping for those cars that I sell, but I've never done business with them. I want to go take some market share. And the right CDP can actually leverage that conquest data as well to create the same or very similar personalized experiences for consumers, so that we're treating people the same way we would treat them as if they were our clients. And just as importantly, we're getting to them as soon as they get in the market and staying with them the entire time they're shopping.
You know, one of the new use cases in 2024, again, the year of the audience, one of the other things that Jonathan, you and I have talked about is connecting the Active Shopper network via API into the CDP, you know, whether it's Telium or FullPath or Outsell or whoever.
Yeah.
And being able to tell dealers when their existing customers are out shopping, setting a flag. So, you know, I'm working on a large dealer group who's using Telium. So Telium is an event-based CDP. So things happen when a trigger or a new piece of data comes in. In 2024, dealers with event-based CDPs could get a signal, hey, today, these 15 customers just came in market. You update the CDP with a flag, and then the dealer group can have complete control on what workflows or messaging goes on. And this is so important because dealers only have the data that they have control of, which you mentioned, first-party data from their website and their CRM. This opportunity then allows dealers to protect their existing customers, reduce defection, and intercept active customers who are in their DMS or in their CRM that maybe were marked out of market. I mean, this is a huge win. Audiences to trigger CDP workflows, audiences to trigger website personalization, audiences to fuel better marketing campaigns, all on an a la carte, or and then dealers who are looking for a new agency partner can come to Client Command. But I see it as two separate options, right? Dealer success in 2024 powered by the Active Shopper Network, or full service turnkey marketing powered by Client Command. Is that how you see it, Jonathan?
Absolutely. Our job is to serve their needs, and not every dealer's needs are the same. we're a perfect full service fit for some dealers, and other dealers, you mentioned a group that's working with Telium. We have a great relationship with Telium, easy to work with them. And that's fantastic for that group. Use the Active Shopper Network to have a flag. And here's some other ideas for activation, Brian. Leads typically are abandoned within 14 days. If they don't buy, they're abandoned. Not all of those people stopped shopping. If you want to know exactly who's shopping, the Active Shopper Network can tell you. What about consumers in your database that they came back in market, but you are unaware? Active Shopper Network can tell you exactly when they come back in market, can begin to engage them for you through your CDP, whether it's Client Command or Telium, or Orbi, Full Path, it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, this is why I wanted to close out this year with this conversation. You know, when I published my CDP research report in the summer of 2023, some people, said, oh, it's another buzzword. No. It is the technology that will power the next leg up in dealership operating efficiency. CDPs are used outside of automotive for those Fortune 5,000 companies that care about creating better customer experiences. The CDPs will reduce waste, provide better insights to grow retention and lifetime value. And it all comes down to managing your first-party data and finding the right data partners to fill the gaps. And that's what I want to make sure dealers understand. Orbi and Telium are a level 1 identity resolution. They will track everyone comes to your website and match them to a real person when they fill out a form or complete an email engagement that brings them back to the website. That means that there's another 90% of the people who come to your website each month that you don't know about, and thousands of people who never get to your website that are searching for a car. If you have the ability to manage customer data, prospects and customers, opportunities and customers, well, then the CDP is a ripe market for better audience partners. Jonathan, you and I have talked about making it easier for dealers to test your claim that the Active Shopper Network is a powerful tool to help dealers dominate their markets by being informed of who's in market that they don't know about. What's the current thinking for the dealers who are listening to today's podcast? How can you put your money where your mouth is to prove to them that the Active Shopper Network needs to be in their 2024 marketing strategy?
I'll make a deal with anybody that's listening to this podcast. If you will reference it, and Brian, we'll even create a landing page for it so they can go to the landing page. But if you'll reference this podcast, we'll give you a free audience to try as long as you share with us the results, because we know this. We know that once you try marketing to people that are shopping right now, you won't go back. It is a different experience. And so, yeah, we'll give you a free audience. If you want to test it, use your current vendors. Don't even use Client Command. Test it out. See if the results are different. You'll find that they are.
Right. Well, I love that, Jonathan, because I always like to add value. And so if you want, hey, I need the people who are actively in my market shopping for Toyotas and Hondas, as an example, get that list. And then that list can be loaded into Facebook. It could be loaded into Google. It could be loaded into your OTT campaign. Whatever application you normally use to reach local shoppers with your current message. This is what this test is all about. And I love the fact that you're willing to truly partner with dealers and get them comfortable with the idea that the Active Shopper Network, which is patented, is something different than just an in-market audience that is modeled or is built on lookalikes with poor performance. Jonathan, if somebody just wanted to learn more about Client Command, what's the best way for them to learn about your company or reach out to you about this audience offer?
So our website is clientcommand.com, and my cell phone number is 404-593-3677. Text me, call me, let's have a chat.
Great. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for your time today. I'm looking forward to seeing you at NADA. I will be at the Client Command booth both Friday and Saturday at the NADA show in the afternoon. I think tentatively we're around 2 o'clock. And one of those time slots, I hope to have the team from DEP so we can demonstrate the deep integration and personalization of the Active Shopper Network when applied to websites. And I'll also be sharing some of my latest research on CDPs and the learning curve that dealers are going through as they approach managing their first-party data. And if this is the first time you're listening to one of my podcasts, you should know there are hundreds of interviews with industry leaders, innovators, and tech pioneers, all focused on helping us improve the automotive retailing experience. So just do a search for the Brian Pash Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. And keep in mind that the team at PCG and Pash Group will have a booth at NADA. If I'm not at Client Command or speaking at another booth, I will be at the PCG Digital Pash Group booth. Make sure you stop by and get ready for a wild ride in 2024. It's going to be the year of the audience. It's going to be the year of higher utilization of first-party data and new technologies to help dealers sell more cars in a digital age. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on another podcast interview.